Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a detailed beginner friendly makeup tutorial. So if you're looking at getting into makeup, or this is your first time you want to dive into makeup, then this is definitely the video for you to watch. So guys, when it comes to my makeup, I start off with my brows. So you can start in any way you want, but for this video we're starting off with the brows. So I always use two main products basically, and that is my brow pencil and then my spoolie. I use a spoolie to brush up the brows in the direction I want them to lay in, and I go in with my brow pencil. You can use any product you use to draw out your brows. You can use a brow pencil, you can use a brow pomade, or you can even use an eyeshadow. It all depends on you and what you want to use anyway. So I always start in from below my brow. I draw out the line first before I go into the top brow, and then draw out the shape completely, and after that I go in to fill up the brow in the areas that are sparse. So once that is gone, I go back in with my spoolie to brush out the product to distribute it evenly across the entire area of my brows, and then it's time to clean it up. And I usually go in with my concealer. So you can go in with a concealer that is 2 shades lighter than you for your bottom brow, and you can go in with a shade that is very close to your skin tone for the upper part of your brow, just to clean up that brow shape into the way you want it to be. And pretty much that is it with the concealer. I hope I said concealer throughout all this, because I was talking about concealer. With the concealer, you're able to clean up any mistake you've made while drawing out the shape you wanted your eyebrow to be in. So guys, that's pretty much it for the eyebrows. And then, oh my goodness, can you all see what I just did? Can you all see? But we're just going to ignore that and act like it didn't happen. So we're moving on to our face, and for that I'm using the moisture potion from Msmetics. This is what we're going to use for moisturizer. So when doing your prepping for your skin products, for your foundation, basically for the skin makeup, you want to go in with a moisturizer and then go in with a primer. Moisturizer will give you hydration. This moisturizer has hyaluronic acid in it. It also doubles as a primer, so if you want you could just use this, but I have oily skin and I really wanted to go in with a primer that was going to make sure that my face was matte throughout the day. And if you're looking for one that does the job, I recommend this Zaron oil block mattifier. Guys, this thing works like magic, and you always want to go in with the directions listed in the product. If not, if it doesn't work, you have no reason to blame anybody but yourself. So I just allowed this dry down my face before I went in with my foundation. And for foundation today, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation. I'm in the shade Cappuccino. So you can decide to use a foundation brush, or you can go in with a damp beauty blender to blend out the foundation. But for this tutorial, I'm going in with a foundation brush, just because foundation brushes are like, they get the job faster, and it tends not to strip out the product you've already kept. Meanwhile, your beauty blender would always soak up more of your product, so you tend to use more product with a beauty blender than you would a foundation brush basically. So even after doing all of this, after blending out your foundation, you can always go back in with your beauty blender just to make sure that everything is evenly blended out and well distributed. But I tend to always go in with a foundation brush. I just like it. It's much faster and easier. So after foundation, we're going to go in with our concealer. And for concealer, I'm going in with my LA Girl Pro concealer in the shade Fawn. Now I always go in with Fawn because Fawn is like, it's very close to my skin tone, but it's still like a shade lighter than me. So for concealer, you always want to go in with a concealer that is a shade or 2 lighter than your foundation shade, or lighter than your actual shade. That is what you use for concealer. And when concealing, we always go into the places where the lights will generally hit our face, which is the bridge of your nose, your forehead, your cupid's bow, underneath your eyes, and your chin, of course. And then for foundation, you go across your forehead, your cheekbone, and underneath your jawline. I have a detailed tutorial on how to highlight and contour. I'll leave that in the description box so you all can click on it, check it out to see how to do that. I also have a detailed tutorial on how I do my eyebrows, so I can also leave the link down in the description box if you're interested in looking at that. So always remember, when blending out your concealer, you're always going in with a damp beauty blender. So my beauty blender is obviously damp now, so I'm just going in to blend that out. Nowadays I like to leave my concealer as the concealer underneath my eyes as the last thing I go in to blend out, just because when you give it that much time, it dries down a bit and becomes even thicker. So when it becomes thicker, the concealer gives you the illusion of it being a full coverage concealer, so it's able to cover up any pigmentation that you might have. That's if the concealer is in full coverage from the onset, so it gives you more pigment or more coverage basically. So that's what I'm just doing. You want to take your time also when blending out your concealer, and you don't want to what's the word I'm looking for, you don't want to swipe. You just want to keep tapping on it, you know, blending. In terms of you blending it out, you don't want to swipe out, because when you swipe, basically you're just removing the product you've already deposited. So you just want to keep tapping on it until it's well blended out. And yeah, that's it. So I also went in with the concealer and I applied it on my eyelids. I always use my concealer as my eye primer, as my eyeshadow primer, or my eye primer, anyone you want to call it. Yeah, I always go in with concealer. I don't think I have any eye primer. No, I always use concealer and they do the work very well. So once you're done blending that, you can go back in with the foundation brush you used in blending and just go over the edges of your concealer. So I also went into cream contour. I don't know why I did it. It was never in the agenda. I was going to powder contour, but I went in with the cream contour, and the one I used was the Nuban Beauty in my skin beauty blender. Sorry, the Nuban Beauty in my skin concealer in the shade 047. So I just went in with a flat brush. I always like to go in with this brush when I'm blending out my cream contours. They do the work effortlessly. And I also like to go in with a pencil brush. I don't know, it just gives me the perfect blend when I'm blending out my contour, my nose contour. And guys, this concealer, it dries down very fast and it's very thick and it's also full coverage, so you really want to be careful. I'd left it on for a bit long, so that was why it was a bit difficult to blend. So in areas like this, you can just go in with your setting spray and then go ahead to, you know, you can spritz a bit of your setting spray and then go ahead to blend out it to make it more easier if your concealer has dried down too much. So I'm going in with my Sacha Buttercup setting powder. This is the setting powder that I love using. It's tested and trusted. I've used so many before, but they always tend to give me like a white cast. Those that I've always used that are brighter than this, I don't know, I've never really liked them. I think I have to try other setting powders. But yeah, there are so many different setting powders out there that anyone can use. So I just like to go in with my setting powder. I take off the excess I've picked up and then just go in and start pressing that powder in the areas I need to set. So we're going into all the places where we apply the concealer to set down with the powder. And once we're done with that, I'll take whatever little I have to set the areas of my face that I haven't applied anything. And also I take this powder to my smile lines, because my smile lines are the places that will crease first. Yeah, that almost happened. So I'm going in with my NYX highlight and contour powder, and I'm taking the darkest shade from the palette. That's called Hollow. So this is what I'm going to use to contour my face. So guys, if you don't know where to contour, you can just suck in your cheeks and then, you know, you see the place where you have to contour, and then you just go in. So you do your cheeks and then your forehead, and then I go in with whatever that is left on the product for my jawline. I really don't go in with much, but whatever that is left on the brush, that's what I use for my jawline. So guys, we're going in to set up makeup using the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. We're almost done with this makeup, guys. So once we're done with this, we allow it to dry down a bit. I always like to go in with my highlighter when my face is still a bit damp, and I'm using the Colourpop X Makeup Shader highlighter in shade Booming. I'm going to apply this all over my cheekbone, the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, my chin, and my forehead. But I'm exempting forehead today because if you guys can see, I have like little bumps all over my face, especially my forehead. So I'm skipping that part out because if I go there to highlight, it makes the bump even more pronounced. So guys, we're moving on to the eyes. I'm using the Perception palette from Colourpop, and for my transition shade, I'm going in with that shade called Peak. And I'm going in with that brush, that is a blending brush. So when starting off your eyeshadow, you want to go in with a shade that is very close or a bit lighter than your skin tone. And for that, I'm going in with Thick. That's the shade I showed you guys. So that shade or the one above it, which is Culture, those two, they are very good as transition shades. So I'm just going to go in windshield swiper motion to blend that out all over my crease area and my transition area. So you keep depositing the pigment of that color until you are fine with how pigmented the shade looks. So guys, I'm going back into the Perception palette and I'm picking up that shade called Revenge. Now I'm going to apply this. I'm going to concentrate it very much at the outer V of my eyes and also into my crease to deepen up this look. I'm also using another blending brush, but this is a much smaller one than the one I used first in the beginning. So just the same I did as the earlier one in terms of blending. I'm just going to concentrate this basically in my crease and also at the outer V of my eyes, and I'm just going to keep on blending and building up that shade until I'm happy or I'm fine with how it looks. So I forgot to show you guys how the brush looks. So it's just a smaller version of the other one. So once I'm done blending in that shade Revenge, I'm going to go back in with little to no product on that same brush, and I'm just going to go ahead to blend that out. So if I feel like I have over blended, I can go back in with a lighter shade than any of them I've used before, which is that shade called Culture, and I just go in to clean up the area, like the brow bone area a bit. Now I went back into the palette and I picked up Strut and Slay, which is that shimmer shade, but it wasn't coming out the way I want. So if you want your shimmer shades to pop up more, you can go in with your setting spray or water and just wet your brush and go back into the palette, so you can see how bright and shiny that looks all. So that's just a very simple trick for you to do. So after that, I'm also going to go back in with the shade above that and just apply that all over the inner corner of my eyes, but that won't be the inner corner highlight. So guys, that shade is called Spill the Tea from the Perception palette. Now this is what I'm applying in the inner corner of my eyelid. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to go in to smoke out the under eyes area. Yeah, so I'm just going in with a flat brush. You can go in with a much smaller brush, like a smudge brush. That's much better for application. And I just applied the same colors I used on my crease and my transition area. So I went in with my waterproof black eyeliner from Paula Beauty to darken my waterline, and then I'm going in with my mascara, which is like one of my favorite mascaras that I love to use. This is the Zaron Lengthening mascara. So you use this to prep for lashes, but because this is a beginner look, I decided not to go in with lashes at all, and I was just trying to show you guys the difference between using the mascara and the place where I haven't used mascara. So once that is done, I'm going to go in with the shade called Unbothered. Now this I'm going to apply in the inner corner of my eyes. This is going to be my inner corner highlight, and I'm also going to use this to brighten up my brow bone. So for brow bone highlights, you can either go with a shimmer shade or you can go with a matte shade. It quite depends on what you want to use, so anyone it's fine. So now we're almost done with this look. I'm going to go into lip gloss. I'm going to go into my lips definitely. So I'm going in with my Davis pencil in number 18. This pencil is a multi-purpose pencil. You can use it for your brows and you can also use it for your lips. So it's for the eyes and also for the lips. So once I'm done lining out my lips, I'm going to go in with a clear lip gloss that has a bit of shimmer. This is the Colourpop X Makeup Shader lip gloss in the shade Neat Freak. And once we're done applying that, basically guys, that's all for this look. It's so simple and easy to do. So guys, thank you so much for watching this. We've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, comment, share and subscribe, and also click the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I upload new videos. Guys, all the list of the products I use will be in the description box down below, and there'll also be a list of my other tutorials that are more detailed in terms of my highlights and contour routine and also my eyebrow routine. So you can check the description box for the link. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.